So earlier this week, Nancy Mace, Republican MAGA member of Congress, was seen leaving early, by the way, the meeting with the Epstein victims and survivors. And as Nancy Mace came out of the room, she was photographed, shown on video, sobbing uncontrollably, right? Tears streaming down her face. And of course, everyone assumed that, wow, that's how moving the information that these women have. That is how horrible their lives were when they were taken as slaves by Epstein. It moved Nancy Mace to tears. Well, turns out Nancy Mace wasn't actually crying for them. She was crying for herself. And I don't mean to downplay Nancy Mace's situation here, because Nancy Mace is also a survivor. And she got on social media after all the headlines and everything about Nancy Mace had to leave the meeting because she was sobbing after hearing their stories. You know, the media narrative was that she did that for the victims. So after that died down, Nancy Mace finally came out and told us the truth and said this: "As a recent survivor, not 2 years in, I had a very difficult time listening to their stories. Full-blown panic attacks, sweating, hyperventilating, shaking. I can't breathe. I feel immense pain of how hard all victims are fighting for themselves. Because we know absolutely no one will fight for us. God bless all survivors." Now, the responsible thing to do, and the logical, and the empathetic thing to do, would have been to immediately have said that. And I mean, I don't mean you had to say it right as you were walking out of the meeting, but like within 10, 15 minutes before you let the media carry the narrative that you were so moved by what these women said. Now, I do have empathy, of course, for Nancy Mace for her situation in that one particular regard. Outside of that, Nancy Mace is still a horrible human being. Do not get me wrong, she is a piece of garbage. But that doesn't mean she needed to endure what she did endure. And I do have sympathy, empathy for her for that. But I want to read you one particular part of her post on social media again. "We know absolutely no one will fight for us." Nancy, what's your job? You're sitting there acting like you're powerless and these women are powerless and who's going to fight for us? Well, let me go back to my job as a representative of the United States where I get to make laws. Do you not see the irony? Okay. Nobody's fighting for us. You're one of the most powerful Republicans in the House of Representatives. You have to do the fighting. You have to lead the way. You're in the position of power. Those other women are not. And these are women who were abused for years and years and years and years. And you're like, who's going to fight for us? Oh, if only I knew somebody. Maybe I'll call my congressperson. Ring. Oh, that's my cell phone. Oh, dear. You're the one in the position of power. But then something grotesque happened. After she came clean about why, of course, she was upset and admitting that, I don't know who's in power, she then immediately went to defending Donald Trump. After hearing from these victims, knowing what they have to say about Donald Trump, Mace came out and defended the man that is calling this thing a Democrat hoax, saying, quote, "President Trump is the one who banned Jeffrey Epstein from Mar-a-Lago. President Trump is the one who cooperated with the feds to get this guy. President Trump is the one who is committed to protecting women and kids." Unless your name is E. Jean Carroll, right? You remember her, right, Nancy? The woman who was sexually assaulted in a Bergman Dorf, whatever, department store changing room. And Trump was found legally, financially liable for that assault on her. That's the man we're supposed to trust. The man who has been accused by more than 40 women of unwanted sexual contact and sexual harassment. That's the man who's on that Access Hollywood tape saying sometimes you just have to grab him by the, right? That's the man that's going to protect women and children. The man who joked while his daughter was a preteen that he would date her. He's going to protect the kids. You're protecting a predator. You're right about you don't know who's going to protect women because it's damn sure not you. It could be you. You could stand up and you could be a leader and you could do something about it, but you're too busy protecting the people that are abusing women. That's what you do, Nancy Mace. And that's what you proved with these social media posts. Thanks for watching, everyone. You know, we're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, and we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.